Now, I know for sure you've never heard of an event in history called the Chicken War, but understanding the Chicken War is actually fundamental to understanding the truck business in the United States and around the world. We're actually going through a similar situation right now. The country of Holland, famous for their Gouda cheese, is fighting the import of American Gouda cheese into Holland because they think it disrupts their ability to earn a valuable living with a product that's not just named for the flavor and texture, but for the actual region in the Netherlands in which it was made. Much the same as French champagne is, they fought against California, naming their sparkling wine champagne for many, many years. The Chicken War happened in the late 1950s and early 1960s, and if you can imagine post-war Europe, one of the interesting notes of post-war, the reality of the Northern Hemisphere, is that almost every single country involved in World War II was entirely decimated by the war, except for one country, the United States, where not only did we prosper magnificently, but we had abundant space that was untouched and unharmed by the war. In fact, everything we did to support the war actually only helped the United States cause after the war. So while other countries were scrambling for land, America had abundant land, and one of the things they raised in that abundant land was chicken. Well, in the western part of Europe, chicken was considered a terrific delicacy that goes back to nobility, goes back centuries, and chicken was very, very expensive. Well, it was, I mean, we had Kentucky Fried Chicken in the United States. Biggest bucket you could get for your family was under $8, and so chicken was a relative bargain here in the States, and so we started exporting it. We exported so much chicken that we undermined the value of chicken in Western Europe, so much so that Western European countries put a tax on chicken coming into Europe. In response, the United States decided to put their own tax on things that came from Western Europe. Potato starch, which was a popular element distributed worldwide by countries in Western Europe, and also cognac was also tariffed very, very prohibitively, and so all cognac became very expensive in the United States. And the third thing was pickup trucks. Pickup trucks were levied a 25% tax, and so anybody who wanted to bring a truck into the United States had to pay this 25% tariff, which instantly made their trucks incapable of competing against American trucks. The one truck that had American companies really scared, actually, came out of Germany, and it was actually a one-off of the Volkswagen van. Their van was available in a pickup truck that was all the rage in the United States. And so American truck companies wanted that truck out of here because its unique size, its four-cylinder motor, its excellent fuel economy undermined everything that American truck companies were trying to accomplish. And so there you go, 25% tax. Volkswagen stopped sending trucks to the United States. Japanese trucks were quite small at the time, but they were very adversely affected by this new tariff. So the Toyotas, the Mazdas, and so forth could not sell trucks in the United States in any way that was profitable. And so what happened was, like the Ford Courier pickup truck was actually a Mazda. Mazda sold the entire truck to Ford, who put their own body on it and then called it a Ford. That's how they got rid of the tariff. And then also Isuzu was making trucks, and they were called the Isuzu Pup, they called it, and then Chevrolet sold it as the Chevy Love. But they were Japanese trucks, just with American badges on it. Well, the American truck companies got extremely lazy in this relationship. In fact, if you remember, trucks of the late 60s and early 70s had a major problem that across the spectrum of the big three, they get into terrible accidents and burst into flames because they had so little regard for the safety of their occupants, the location of their fuel tanks, and the crashworthiness and the structural integrity of the truck was so poor, relatively speaking, that their trucks became downright dangerous. And the market was ripe for some new type of environment. Well, the rest of the Japanese market discovers there's an easy way around this tariff. Let's just pick up and move to the United States and build our trucks there. And so that's exactly what happened. And the one who did it biggest and first and best was Toyota. And so Toyota just suddenly had the lion's share of the small truck market. But they didn't want to make the mistake of the big three. They made the very best trucks that they could possibly make. Profit, no profit, whatever the case may be, they had one goal in mind, and that goal was to make absolutely the best trucks that money could buy, period. to this day, if you find a Toyota truck from the 70s, it's still worth good money. In fact, it's kind of crossed over into the collector market where it's worth more than it was a few years ago. Toyota is absolutely obsessed with quality. They're always obsessed with quality about their cars, but they're really obsessed with quality about their trucks. Well, the one thing everybody knew was that Toyota would never dare compete head-to-head with the big three. They had a Tundra. Before that, they had a T100. They were a little bit bigger than the Tacoma, more like a Dodge Dakota size, but the Dakota was never really that popular of a truck. It wasn't a big truck from the big three. Suddenly in 2007, Toyota comes out with the all-new Tacoma, and not only is it the rival of the big three, it's the class leader. In fact, there's a new sheriff in town, and it is the new Toyota Tundra, which had come out in 2007, revitalized as this one is in 2010. So the Tundra comes out in a variety of sizes. It comes out in an access cab, which has some smaller doors behind the main doors, standard cab, which is just the two doors, and this CrewMax, and so CrewMax is the limousine model of the bunch. It has an enormous 44 inches behind the front seat, so we'll take a look inside. It has incredible legroom in the back seat. This one is both a limited and a platinum, and so you can tell it's got parking sensors in the front as well as in the back. We'll take a look around. This particular truck is pretty neat. This truck has the 3M clear bra, so no rock chips in the front. It's right around 48,000 miles and is in impeccable condition, as many of these are. In fact, you see a lot of Tundras with 148,000 miles, and I'll be honest, they're probably just as nice. They don't really drop off in quality. As long as you do the maintenance, and like any machine, they need to be maintained, but if you properly maintain them, you've got something that'll last forever. People look at Toyota trucks the same way they look at like a house. They don't necessarily care what year it was built, and they don't necessarily care how many kids lived in the house. They just care about the condition. If the condition is excellent, they'll pay all the money in the world for it. And not just retail customers at a Toyota dealer. You put a truck on Craigslist that has the name Toyota on it, expect your phone to blow up that very day. Now, since this one is platinum, it's going to have the 20-inch wheels as well. This one has really nice fresh tires, really superb black paint. It's a great looking truck, that's for sure. Let's jump inside, take a peek in the driver's seat. Wood steering wheel, wood shifter, wood on the door. This truck's really, really nice. And you gotta remember, Toyota owns a prestige brand called Lexus, and this is a lot like what a Lexus is gonna look like inside. And so the Platinum gives you that Lexus panache, but in a Tundra. Now you gotta remember, this is a 381 horsepower, 6-speed automatic, 401 pound-feet of torque, so it's extremely fast. And then the chassis is extremely strong. So a lot of power and a strong chassis means excellent 0 to 60 times. In fact, this goes 0 to 60 in about 6.9 seconds. It wasn't all that many years ago that a Corvette went 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. This isn't just fast, it's startlingly fast. And then if you can remember when the commercials came out for the original Big Tundra in 2007, the featured thing that they really bragged on about more than anything else was their brakes, because their brakes are gigantic in this truck. This thing will stop so fast from even 80 or 90 miles an hour. Again, more like a sports car than a big truck. It utterly blows everything else away, especially the control of the brakes. But one thing about the brakes is that you need to get them serviced at either a Toyota or Lexus dealership or someplace that can handle them. They really are very, very big, and they require a special tool. A lot of places cannot work on a Tundra's brakes, or a 4Runner, or a Sequoia, that matter. They all have really big brakes. Now let's jump in back and take a look at that 44 inches. So that limo rear end, what a limo rear end means is that you can cross your legs in the back seat. And so show me a truck where you can cross your legs in the back seat with the front seat essentially all the way back. You have all the room in the world. Oh, no big deal. Drop down DVD just so you can have the finishing touch on the most classy interior that there is in the truck business. This truck is so nice inside, it literally feels like you need a limousine driver in the front. Back seat, you're as comfortable it could be. It doesn't matter if your kids are 6'6", they're gonna have all the room they need in the back of this CrewMax. Rear camera, bed liner, everything still looks right in the back. Tow package, it'll tow 10,800 pounds. Again, those nice 20-inch wheels, big heavy door handles on the outside, big heavy door handles on the inside. Let's turn it on. So although a beneficiary of the fallout of the chicken wars, this truck is indeed no chicken itself. I'm going to give it some gas, see what 381 horsepower sounds like. Sounds great. Stereo system. All JBL stereo system, very, very nice. Heated seats, air-conditioned seats, tow haul mode. You got your sonar turn on and turn off here. You have everything that you could possibly need. This is the absolute top of the line. The leather is even different than it is on the Limited. The Limited has a very high-grade leather. The Platinum has a cut above that leather, and then it has the Platinum editions embroidered right into the seats. This truck's an amazing truck. All Platinums are amazing trucks. This one just happens to be in superb original condition. 48,000 miles, certified through Toyota, so you get the 1212 bumper-to-bumper warranty from Toyota, and then the remainder of the 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And then also just the peace of mind that you get from getting a certified vehicle as opposed to one. It's like you're not quite sure about what it is you're buying. This truck, even with 48,000 miles, is still in the upper 30s as far as price goes. And so spending that kind of money, I mean, that's real money, and you want to make sure you get a real nice truck for that kind of money. Going certified is clearly the way to go. If you have any questions about this truck or anything that we sell here at Toyota of Seattle or Honda of Seattle, please don't hesitate to give me a call. My name is Joe Tunney. I'm the pre-owned director for Toyota of Seattle and Honda of Seattle. You can reach me anytime at joet@hondaofseattle.com.